So the 1st of November 2002, I in fact started Digital Dynamite. And I think my first 3 months, it was really a bit of a rude awakening in the sense that I think I invoiced 300 Rand or 200 Rand for the first 3 months. As the journey kind of continued, I in fact took over a contract with a corporate. The whole idea was to do a 3-month contract, and really with the idea to build some capital and put some money into the business. And those 3 months actually turned into 3 years. And the beauty about it was throughout that 3-year period, I was continuously sort of building Digital Dynamite on the side and working after hours and weekends and going. I remember going to 8 o'clock meetings in Bedford View, to go and try and close a deal. And I started feeling very, very restless. I didn't see there being much sort of growth for me there, and the whole time I just kept on thinking, I want to do this myself. I want to do this for myself. I started putting my CV out and started, checking out and see what is out there. And there was an advertisement, in fact, on Biz Community that really caught my eye. And I thought, what is this about? About a day or two later, I got a reply from this guy called Alon, and asked me a bit of questions about Digital Dynamite. What is it we do? How long have we been in business for? What type of turnover do we do? And in the sort of naivety of my own business, a lot of those questions I couldn't really answer. So after about 2 or 3 emails back and forward, Alon invited me to come and meet with him. So I remember so clearly on that particular day that I was scheduled to go through and meet up with this guy Alon. I actually had such a tough day at the corporate, and it was scheduled for a late afternoon, probably at about a 4:30, 4:45 situation. And even the journey kind of swinging around, because the offices were out in sort of the West Rand, swinging around on the highways, and the traffic was bumper to bumper, and I literally took the Woodmead off ramp, and I was this close saying, stuff it, let me just drive and go home. I've had a tough day, I thought, let me just check it out and see what this whole, Alon thing's all about. So I popped in there and I walked into this sort of building that looked very creative, and I wasn't too certain what this thing was all about. And I was absolutely blown away. I walked out of that meeting with Alon and I was like, oh my word, I think I've found what I'm looking for. I went in, I wrote the exam, and Alon called me about 3 hours later and said, Brian, you absolutely aced it. And I said, what are you talking about? So he says, we scored it, and you scored an 86, and as far as I'm concerned, your propensity for entrepreneurship is massive. And I just said, thank you so much. That is really, really cool. And he said, obviously this is a formal invitation for you to join Raizcorp. And I drove to the Raizcorp offices, and I walked in, and Alon showed me to my little office, and I sat down and I set myself up. And probably for that first week, I caught myself doing this whole, I'm doing my own business, on every hour on the hour. I could not actually believe that I was doing this. So Digital Dynamite is an interactive media agency, and we specialize in the design and development of websites as well as e-learning content. That Digital Dynamite stands for insight, invention, as well as impact. Challenges that I've had and challenges I've faced, and I've often thought to myself, I don't know how people can run their own business without an aid or without a mentorship program sort of like Raizcorp, because your everyday hang-ups and your everyday sort of mountains that you're facing and your own internal dialogue, if you don't know how to deal with that and get over that, I don't know how people actually grow businesses, without having someone to kind of say, this is what I'm going through, and what do you think, and for them to be able to say, I've been there, I've done it, this is kind of, my take on it, what do you think?